some main problems in corpus analysis. And you will be surprised to know that the problems we are going to discuss in this module, they are still present, though their number is minimized. They have been controlled to a great extent, but they do exist even this day. Often in LGS, our field of study, we have samples of small size. That may be a conversation, for example. That may be a sample of some chunks of talk. So in such cases, we have to build our own corpus, and designing one's own corpus is impossible without a specific training in this research methodology. This is not an easy job. For some studies, complete sample may not be available. Sample, I have used this term from research. Sample is part of that phenomenon which you are going to study, about which you want to investigate something, because your interested event, person, population is very large. You can't have access to that. It would be time consuming, it would be costly. You select a part of it for your study. That part of a larger phenomenon, situation, or in technical terms, population, is called sample. So we are talking about incomplete samples in case of corpus. For example, language of career groups. So this language is developing, and it is very complex type of language. We have discussed it, why these people use such kind of language. They want to hide their identity in public, but they want to expose their identity when they are using it for political purposes, and so on. So in different contexts, they use different language. If you are studying career groups and their language, so it would be very difficult to get a representative sample from these people. There is no agreement on the minimum size of sample for reliable analysis. The text cannot be directly analyzed until and unless you first of all translate your text into language of computer, the language that machine can read. Machine here means computer. So first you translate your ordinary text into machine readable text, then you are able to analyze. These are certain problems. If data is too large, corpus analysis will cost much. For an unsponsored researcher, if you are doing this research on your personal funding, on your own expenses, it would cost a lot. Softwares are not freely available, then you need computer and many things else. So this would be very expensive for a single individual researcher. It is very difficult to tag spoken data for analysis. We would talk about tagging after a short while, then I would introduce this term. So if you do tagging manually, अपने हाथ से अगर text की जैसे मैंने कहा, you would have to translate the text. So that translation involves certain symbols, punctuation. This is called tagging. So you insert information in your text that is in form of symbols. Okay, this is tagging. So if your data is spoken, and usually in our case the data would be spoken, it would be some conversation, some dialogue. So that tagging is manually very difficult. Even with computer it is difficult. Some texts are closed. They don't grow in size. For example, all dramas written by Shakespeare, this is a closed sample. And some corpora are open-ended. They would never be complete. There would be no end to them. For example, code trials data. So code trial data will be going on increasing. This is an example of ongoing open-ended corpus. So these are problems which a new corpus researcher can face, but there are solutions to them.